Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Gaidah Vebi Soraya from Big class, the 6th semester. Well, in this occasion, I would like to explain about the first material until the last. I start from experimental design. Experimental design has three kinds of designs. First is pre-experimental, second is true experimental, and the last is quasi-experimental. In pre-experimental, there are three main designs. First is one-shot case design. This design involves in a single experimental group to be exposed toward treatment and observations are made after it. Take a look at this graph where the group is brought into treatment and finally toward post-test to assign final results. Next is one group pre-test post-test design. This design is basically a research to measure or observe a group in before and after treatment. Unlike the one-shot design, the group will be taking a pre-test before treatment and post-test after treatment. And the final design for pre-experimental is intake group comparison. This design focuses on a two-group design which has different treatment. So it's like trying to compare between the treatment of A and B. Coming on second of experimental design is true experimental. There are four designs in this kind of experiment. First is post-test only control design. This design is to see what both experimental and control group final result is through random assignment. The control group will be given no treatment whatsoever, which instead they will only be facing post-test immediately. Next is pre-test control group design. It is almost the same as before, but both experimental and control group are given pre-test. Next is the Salmon 4 group design. This design involves 4 group, 2 experimental, and 2 control groups. All of them will be given post-test. The first 2 groups will be going through pre-test and the 2 of them will not. Both experimental from either group will do a treatment while the control groups will have no treatment. The final design of true experimental is factorial experimental design. This design is based on researcher in manipulating 2 or more independent variables simultaneously to observe the effect towards the dependent variable. Finally, the third kind of experimental design is quasi-experimental. It has 2 designs. The first one is no randomized control group design. This design is identical to the pre-test, post-test control group design, but the difference is the both experimental and control group will not be given random assignment. The second and last is time series design. This design is used to measure or effect of treatment over a long period of time or continue to administer the treatment and measuring the effect of number of time during the whole course of the experiments. Well, the next material is classroom action research. Classroom action research is a method of finding out what works best in a classroom to improve the students' learning process. This type of research can provide answers for teachers to improve their class. There are 3 different kinds of cards that was presented by experts. First is from Kurt Lewin. His idea of car is in one cycle as there are 4 steps in doing car. There are planning, action, observation, and reflection. The second one is from Chemist and MC Taggart. They explain that the steps of this research are almost the same as Kurt Lewin's model, except there is a repetition on each cycle. The third and final one is from John Elliott. He explained that in one cycle there will be more action, and in one action there will be more steps. throughout the learning process. To be clear, CAR is a research method to find the best way to improve a classroom. In order to do this type of research, there will a process to achieve the best result out of it. First is to plan it, second is the action, third is reflecting the data, and finally the result must be correct according to plan. And next matter is R&D, research and development. Is a research method by making a certain product to be used as the research media. It can be technology, food, computer program, and many other depending on the subject of research. In education, syllabus, lesson plans, books, teaching media, and teaching strategy are the most common. There are specific steps in doing a development of research. First is early product stage development. Then the product will be tested on the field. After that, we can present the product through any kind of publishment. And finally, the product can verify it and ready to be used. To achieve the best result for R&D method, here are the keywords to achieve it. There are setup, implementation, model development, and innovative model. Next, evaluation model. Evaluation research model is a type of research to evaluate a certain event or program to calculate the success and to determine it as how the event or program was playing. In this evaluation, there are 7 models that we can use. First is discrepancy model. This model involves in acknowledging the level of standard in the program compared to the real performance of the program. Second is CIPP or contest input process and product. CIPP is an evaluation model that is done systematically to improve the program. Third is REM or responsive evaluation model. This model is focused on natural quality approach. The purpose is to understand the program's component through different perspectives. Fourth one is formative summative model by Michael S. K. Raven. The formative evaluation is occurred during the program and gives feedback to develop the program even further, and summative evaluation is accurate the end of the program to assess the benefits of the program until it's decided to be continued or to be stopped. Fifth one is measurement model. This model is focused on measurement program to achieve quantity of certain attribute from the object, person, and event in certain size unit. Sixth one is goal-free approach. This model's purpose is to take any records of both real or concrete effect and unwanted step in educational program and trainings. Finally, the seventh one is by Kirkpatrick. There are 4 levels in evaluation. There are reaction, learning, behavior, and result. I think that's all from me. Thank you very much for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Happy watching.